YouTube lands? It's Asenva here to do another official Junky spot review. Joining me today is not only my Hujoo Dana, but a brand new friend, the new Hujoo Sara. So once again, my friends, please excuse me for the doll nudity that is about to show on your screens. It has to happen because I'm showing you guys the dolls, but believe it or not, there are actually some key differences between the two dolls here. The Sara actually has a couple of different little modifications here and there from the older body, or I guess you can call first generation bodies, which the Dana has. The Dana has what is labeled as the normal or regular bust, and my friend Sara here actually has what is categorized as a large bust. So side by side, I mean, they're still the same height. She's a 43.5 centimeter doll, and she does have a neck circumference size of 7.2 centimeters. Her shoulders at a 9 centimeter. Her bust for this one is a 19 centimeter bust. Her waist is 14.5. She's got hips at 20 centimeters, and her feet are at 6.5. Her wig size that she's going to be using is a 7/8 wig, so she'll be using standard MSD wigs, and her eyes are going to be a 14mm eye. Let's get started with our review. Let's take a look at the head first. As you can see, she has a really lovely face, a wonderful side profile here with those pouty lips, and she's got those really slender, beautiful looking eyes. As far as mobility goes for her head, she is able to look down to an extent, but man, she can really look up, which is really cool. I think that's really awesome. As far as moving side to side, she can move to this point right here, and she can turn her head from left to right. You can see that she has the peg system similar to most our other Hujoo friends, and so it's got the two pegs on this side. One is shorter than the other, don't worry, there's nothing broken or wrong with it, that's just how it is, and one peg on the side at the bottom. Those three pegs will go into 1, 2, 3 slots. Inside, you do see here a ring system. These dolls are strung with elastic, and they do not have S-hooks. They have rings. That means that the strings that are strung onto this doll are looped into this ring right here, and that's how it's preventing her strings from going and shooting down into her body. If you ever need to take that ring off, you would just go ahead and simply take it off like you would any other like keychain and whatnot, and it would come right off. Like I mentioned before, she does use a 14mm eye. You are going to want to try to stick to that size if you can because of her eye dishes that she has. She's got those little eye cups, so if you try to shove an 18mm eye in there, it may not fit in all the way. So just a word of caution, and make sure that you're using the right size of eyes when you have this doll. Cool thing number 2 that they went ahead and did with this body is that on that shoulder joint, they actually went ahead and essentially, I guess, sanded down the little peg looking things that were sticking up in the shoulders, which, I mean, in a way it was good because it gave it traction and it would hold, but also it was very kind of weird because it was a little bit hard to move her arms up and down. As you can see, this is really easy to do. It's really good. They changed it. And if you look inside of our shoulder here, you can see that our piece looks smoother inside of here. Not only that, they also added kind of like this rubber ring type thing inside of the shoulder piece, so that way it slides a lot easier, and it still has traction in it, so I mean it can hold its poses. And there's nothing wrong with the Dana body. It's just you do actually have to exercise some caution when you are twisting that arm, because you know you don't want anything to break if you're twisting it too hard. What I did personally with the other body was I actually did end up sanding a little bit of it off so it could move a little bit easier. But that's a whole different other story. Let me go ahead and continue with our review. But that is pretty much her shoulder part for her arm, and it does really give her a really nice range of mobility. Inside here you can see those wonderful gears that she has. The Dana body, the Sara body, and then there's another one that's out. They all have these gears in them, which help them kind of click into place and to hold their positions. It's really cool. I thought it was a very innovative, awesome idea that Hujoo has with their dolls. And there's that gear. So here's a look of that elbow piece that she has here when it's bent, but it also has its gears in this section of her arm as well. When you go down to her wrists, you can see that they have a floating piece right here. This floating piece right here, when you separate it, you will see the hook underneath. That makes everything so much easier when you're restringing them. That way you can go ahead and loop the elastic through the hook there, and then you just place this other piece on top, and then that's it. You're golden. That's it. As far as mobility goes for the wrist movement, she can move it from left to right. It can go down to a certain point and up as well. Her hands are really pretty. They're really kind of dainty looking. Moving on to her torso, which I mentioned before. This is the large bust version. There's two busts that you can buy, the normal or the large. And so as you can see, this is, and I'll show you her compared to my Dana. She does have a larger bust here. It's a two-part torso system that she has. So she does have the upper part up here and then her lower part that connects to her hips down here. She does have the ability to slouch forward. It does leave a little gap here, but I mean it won't be really noticeable in clothes. And she can move back. And then she does have a center position right here that's straight. Moving down to her thighs, she does have the gears down here as well, which come in handy when she's standing because it'll lock her legs into place and they won't move anywhere or be any crazy movements when you're trying to have her stand. She's a really solid stander, and having these joints and these gears really do help out a lot. So you can see right here she has her gears, and it has a peg part in there that connects on the other side. So the two of them, there's actually two pegs that are facing this way that will help her keep her legs apart also, which is another thing too. Right here you'll see that there are some ridges on her swiveling thigh. That's because when she moves it, it will click it into place, and that way it's not all loosey-goosey and going everywhere. As you noticed also here, which is another cool thing that they have, there is a lip. That lip is designed so she can have her leg up like this. Now this may look a tad bit wonky like this, and not even that bad really, but when you have her in clothes or if you have her in pants or whatever, it's a really cool thing that her leg can do because she can essentially put both of them up, and she can do kind of like a sitting up all the way position with her legs, which is really cool. Moving down to our knees, it's very similar to the arms. She has the gears that are here as well. Everything will click into place and stay where it is. This is the back of her leg, so you'll see where her gears are on her legs back here. And here's another shot of her legs. And here you'll see the back part of her gears. And then going down to her feetsies. Very much like her wrists, except you'll also notice that it's got a 4-part, almost looking like a crown type deal. And if you look inside of here, there's 2 pieces of plastic here. And that way, if you do happen to switch her leg around, the plastic bars that are there will catch it and it'll keep it in place. Another good thing that helps her stand and move her legs and whatnot. I think it's very smart. And then if you pull this part away from here, you will see that she has a hook down here also for her elastic. That makes life a lot easier when you're restringing her. And that about wraps it up for my Sara review. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you'd like to check out some cool dolly products, please make sure that you go to www.junkyspot.com. That is where you can find our Hujoo Sara here, along with other very awesome Hujoo products. I hope this review was helpful to those who may have been interested in the Hujoo Sara doll, and I will see you guys in another video.